Shaun, 260 games, a glittering career. Has it hit you quite yet that it's come to an end?
It has. It's been a bit of a slow burn. I've known this has been coming for a little bit. I made a decision during the year, win, lose or draw, and whether I could get back or not. It was the reason why we decided to. Or were forced in for surgery, but the idea was to push as hard as I could to give myself an opportunity. It wasn't to be, but yeah, thankful for the 17 years that I've been able to have at this level. It's been an amazing ride. I've loved every minute of it. Not that it's always been easy, but the highs continue to bring you back for more. And I've been involved in 3 great clubs. Been privileged to spend the last 2 years here. Really enjoyed my time here. Grown more here, I think, as a person in the last 2 years than the 15 before that, and also the footy experience and fully knowledge, learning off these players and coaches. I've thoroughly enjoyed this season.
You stood in front of the playing group yesterday and told them of your decision. You said the emotion hit you a little bit then?
Yeah, I was able to hold it together. I think I thought I was really well prepared and comfortable with where I was at, and it'd be easy for me to get up and chat to the boys. But I think the overriding emotion of what we do and how much, not just myself, but all the guys love being involved in this environment. Until you're in it, it's hard to explain what it is. And like I said, I've been privileged to do it for 17 years. It's half my entire life. It's all I know. From a 17-year-old getting drafted to the Bulldogs to now standing here, almost 35, that this is what I've done every day. So I think that's what hits you. I'll miss it, but I'm also realistic that things like this don't last forever. I've had a great ride. I'm ready to move on and enjoy footy from the other side of the fence now, and pay interest in the careers of plenty of guys that I've played with that continue to play today, and the younger guys that I've worked with, so I'll get enjoyment out of that.
You started your career off at the Doggies. What sticks out to you about at that point of your career?
Yeah, I had a great 9 years at the Western Bulldogs. As I mentioned, got drafted as a 17-year-old, and really was fortunate that the team had been building for a number of years, and I came in at the end of 2005, and then 2008, 9 and 10 we played in preliminary finals and had great success as a team without ultimately making a grand final or winning a premiership, and had some big finals against the Cats actually that, some of my fondest memories as a young guy, being able to play out there on the big stage, and those big games in finals are what stand out in my career. So I was lucky enough to experience that early on. Then went to North Melbourne and played in another losing prelim there. Obviously last year's preliminary final. So I had 5 cracks at it, and thankfully I get to experience, albeit not taking part in the 22 this week, but get to experience what grand final week is this week. And it's been really enjoyable so far. I can't wait to get out with the boys today and dose up and try and get through another training session, which will be a bit of fun, and then enjoy what Friday and Saturdays bring.
You mentioned the Kangaroos. It's probably where you hit the peak of your footy powers, a Sid Barker medal and All-Australian as well. Yeah,
it was a great time of my footy career. I was fortunate I had really strong people at North Melbourne that probably believed in me before I did going there, and Brad Scott and Cam Joyce and James Brayshaw, Jeff Walsh, they were great supporters of mine going over to North on the back of probably some injury seasons and not quite reaching the potential that I had at the Bulldogs. So to go there, and it's a fantastic club and culture, and some great people there that allowed me to play the footy that I did, and playing a really, really strong side there, as I mentioned, in the prelim finals, and then be able to become the player that I wanted to become. So yeah, loved my 6 years at North.
You mentioned the body. It's probably got to a point now where you are ready to call it a day.
Yeah, I've been able to manage injuries that I've had quite well over the last 6 years, particularly coming back from major knee surgery in 2016, and there comes a time to all of us, a use-by date, and I just felt this year I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. Mentally, I still feel great, still love the game, and love the challenge of playing, but it was with the Achilles I had carried for the entire year, and then concussion, and ultimately the knee surgery last month. I wasn't able to get back and produce the football that I needed to help the side win, and also contribute in the senior side. So I touched on with the boys yesterday. I've got no regrets. I've always approached my footy to give myself the best opportunity and prepare. I felt as good as anyone in the league, and if I did that, then whatever happened off the back of that would happen. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the great thing for me now. I can retire with no regrets in the way that I've gone about it, and it just wasn't meant to be for my career to play on grand final day, but I'll sit back and play my part and help the boys on this Saturday.
Coming back to finish your career at the club you grew up supporting, was that the finishing note that you were really hoping for?
Yeah, it was great. It's not something that I thought about probably until a couple of seasons ago. I had ongoing discussions over a long period of time with the club to from there and to get me back here where I grew up. But I'll be forever grateful for that opportunity to come back, both from a football sense, as I touched on before, working with the players that I've been able to work with, the coaches that I've learnt off this year, which has been a great experience for me doing some coaching with them. And then ultimately to come back in the family situation that we had. We had twins at the start of last season. And the workload of that, and close to hospital for a couple of months, and family and that sort of support. So yeah, the footy club's been great.
And a chance as well to play at the same club that your sister did.
Yeah, that's right. And my old man came down from the bush to play here as well a few moons ago. So it was a great touch like that for the family. My sister was still playing up until this year, so we retire in the same year together. It was probably something we'll look back on when we get a little bit older and more grey, and be proud of that as well.
And one thing that's really stood out with your time here at the club was a lot of development that you helped with the younger players and coming back early and guiding them through the pre-season and across the season as well. Is that something you're really interested in going forward?
Yeah, well, I think it's just the role that I needed to play over the last 2 years. As I mentioned, I would have loved to have been able to contribute more game day in the seniors, but just trying to find a way that I can help the footy club as much as possible. I love the training, I love the preparation and the grind that footy brings, and giving yourself that opportunity to play well. And if I can pass on some of that experience to the younger guys, and we had a great pre-season. We were training right through the break and went away on some little camps with the young guys, and some of those guys are the reason why we're where we are this week, and some will play, some won't, and hopefully over the course of their career they can get in and experience this opportunity as well.